Winter storm is finally here. I feel like we've been talking about it for over a week now, but it's arrived. And the one thing I want to show you this for, because it really doesn't help you in a forecast, I just want to tell you nothing has changed since you went to bed. Same counties under a warning that were last night, and the same counties under a winter weather advisory south and to the west. Which one looks different than the others? Oh yeah, it's that one on the bottom left. That is over in Stephenville, where those are sleet pellets coming down. And they are coming down pretty hard out there, the way that looks. So Lantana, you're about to get precipitation, but the clouds are an important thing. I want to explain those clouds. And over the last hour, what happened overnight, I mean, there was a moment. I got a text from Dan last night before. He's like, oh, temperatures have dropped into the 20s in many areas. And he was a little worried. I'm like, clouds are coming in. When the clouds came in, temperatures went up. So now we're all safely above freezing. There's nobody that's in the 20s and worried about an ice storm out there. But temperatures drop a little bit when this sleet comes in. And radar in the Metroplex is now detecting this moving towards Fort Worth. It's primarily sleet. I mean, you may look at it on your phone or your weather app, whatever you got, and you're going to see all these colors, and you're like, I have no idea. Is it snow? Is it sleet? Is it freezing rain? Is it rain? It's mostly sleet. The apps have and our weather radar has an algorithm that looks at the particles and tries to figure out what it is. But in this case, there may be several particles mixed in. Most of it is sleet. There may be a little more tendency to mix the sleet with snow up north, but this is a mostly sleety mix that's coming in. What is sleet? It is a ball of ice, because it falls as a raindrop and then freezes on the way down. It is not freezing rain. And with temperatures at the freezing mark, 33, 34, 35, when it hits the ground, it's going to melt. So roads are going to be wet this morning. Dew points are 20, 24, 25. The air is still pretty dry. The reason I point this out is as this precipitation, it's 36 degrees in the Metroplex. As it precipitates into the dry air, you'll get this. Basically, for lack of a better way of saying it, temperatures are going to fall. You get this little bit of evaporative cooling, kind of like when you get out of the shower and all of a sudden you start to get a little colder because you're dry. The air is dry around you. So what will end up happening is we'll drop down to 32 degrees. High above the ground, we've got temperatures at 36, 37. So it's raining at a very high level and then raining into the colder, drier air, which is why sleet is the predominant weather pattern this morning, or the weather feature. It is going to eventually turn to more rain this afternoon, but this whole mess, this very strong lift is coming at us. I want you to look, like Abilene, notice it's bouncing back and forth to 32, 33 degrees. 32 degrees, the roads are going to be wet, but it's not going to be pleasant. And that's about the situation we have that's going to be this afternoon. Big storm taking shape. Those low pressure areas are going to come in tonight, or at least the lift from them, and cause the temperatures to drop to the point where we get snow out of this. And the backside of this, the winds are still coming off the land. The Santa Ana winds are still keeping the fires going in Southern California. But here at home, the main story is going to be today, and it's a sleety mix this morning, maybe some snowflakes mixed in, and the afternoon will tend to more rain. Southern areas, more rain and sleet. Northern areas, more snow and sleet, but still this mix. Tonight, it's going to turn to snow, but it may take a while. It's going to be after sunset, 7, 8, 9 o'clock out west. Could be 8, 9, 10 o'clock in much of the Metroplex, but it will snow overnight most areas except for southeastern counties. And the snow will accumulate probably 2 to 4 inches in the Metroplex. This is about the same map we've been using for the last couple of days. There are very few changes to it. We do expect snow to accumulate. We don't expect anything worse or anything better than that. It is going to be white on the grass tomorrow morning. The roads are a bigger question mark. So we look at the forecast today. Sleety, rainy mix this afternoon. I mean, it's going to be just wet and cold, 32, 33 degrees all day. If you had to go to work, I mean, they didn't send a lot of the kids to school, but if they did, we would have been okay. The roads are going to be wet. it's still going to be a mess. Tonight is going to be the time when it changes over. But notice the time here. It could be late this evening when it does change over to snow, but it will change to snow during the overnight hours. For the majority of us, that's when it will accumulate. You'll wake up tomorrow morning. Hopefully the grass is nice and white, as is the car. The roads are still a question mark. It's not going to get much colder than 31, 32 overnight. So the roads, well, even if they're slush covered, they may improve pretty quickly late in the morning, certainly by noon. And in the afternoon with the little sun out there, 37 degrees won't be too bad. However, anything that melts refreezes Saturday morning, and that's our computers indicating a little bit of freezing fog Saturday morning. That won't be pleasant either, but it gets better after that. So today, this wintry, sleety mix, more rain this afternoon, about 34 degrees. Wet roads today, but white roads by tomorrow morning. And then tomorrow afternoon, everything improves. It refreezes at night. Saturday, cold, and then we get the sun in the afternoon. 46 should be fine. Once we get past Saturday, we're home free in the 40s and low 50s.
Thanks, Evan. In general, again, not a lot of folks out and about on the roadways. That was kind of expected. And there haven't been a lot of incidents that have popped up that have been major in nature so far. I want to spend a little bit of time discussing some closures, though you won't see any markers on the map. For folks that utilize I-35W and are used to using the express lanes, it's not going to be available. Not only there, but any express lane is closed and will be until all the winter weather passes and temperatures get above freezing. Probably Friday afternoon would be when we would see that open up. So another example would be 183 in the express lanes that go from Haltom City and North Richland Hills over through the mid-cities to the south end of the airport and continue over into Irving and over in Dallas County. We won't have any express lanes open on any of the other major roadways, which would include trying to make the Loop 12 transition from 183, the I-35 express lanes coming up from the Highway 67 merge. For folks trying to utilize I-30 and the express lanes coming from the area in Grand Prairie and Arlington, all of that's closed off. I-30 at Jim Miller, HOV lane not open there. LBJ express lanes between 75 and I-35E, again, all blocked off out of an abundance of caution. As far as the drive times are concerned, up north of the areas that we've just looked at, 75 Central Expressway, for example, heading from the McKinney area and continuing down towards Dallas County, that's running well. I-35E trouble-free in Denton County so far.